So right away, today's message is coming from a very specific star that I'm feeling into. And this feels like it's for those who already feel some kind of pull to that star, or you've just been noticing it in your awareness lately and you don't really know why, or it could be that you haven't noticed it yet, but there's a message from that star consciousness itself to you right now, and it wanted to be known through this reading. Okay, but I also don't have the full message yet, which tells me it wants to come through as the cards show themselves. So I'm not going to try to name it too early. We'll just let tarot cards anchor this and ground our message and everything like that. Okay, so the first card we have here is Six of Wands. Beautiful. All right, let's get one more. Actually, we're gonna get two more, please. Oh, okay. We have Eight of Wands. Let's get a couple more. Actually, two. Yeah, two more. Perfect. We have, oh my goodness, the Empress. Wow, these are some auspicious cards that are coming out, eh? Okay, then we have Ten of Blades. Okay. Interesting. Let's see, bottom of the deck. We have Two of Cups as the bottom of the deck energy. Okay. Interesting spread. So, this is actually coming through very specifically what star wanted to connect to us here. And the star that is coming through is the Sirius star, okay? And Sirius is one of the brightest stars visible from our planet. And in a lot of, I know there's a lot of mystical tradition. Sirius star is almost spoken about like this higher sun, or like our spiritual sun, and like almost like a divine feminine counterpart to our sun in our solar system. And it just means like it carries this kind of amplification frequency in a sense as well, right? And in this reading, it feels like it's meeting people who have been dealing with actually a lot of throat and solar plexus activity, okay? So this is just coming through to make it clear that there has been a lot of adjusting and recalibrating around how you express yourself and how you stand in what you know as well, actually. What I'm seeing with this spread is obviously there's a lot of recognition, a lot of movement happening together, and this recognition is coming not just from people around you, but this recognition is on a level that goes beyond this one layer of reality here on earth, okay? Like being seen, being heard, and being responded in a way that feels a lot deeper than just like surface level approval, of course, but like even just to like being seen and being heard is not limited to just this dimension, okay? And what I mean by this, like there's just this strong theme here of messages like moving fast or information traveling, and you acting as like a messenger rather than someone trying to like convince or prove anything to anyone. So it's like you're almost like this messenger coming in with other dimensional information. And this crow on the Eight of Wands really pulls that in for me, because it obviously is a symbolism of communication, signals, messages, stuff like that. So, and then the white horse in the Six of Wands, this brings up my awareness back to Sirius again. I don't know why exactly, but it's almost like this signal of alignment with this higher knowledge and a wider view. And obviously, Eight of Wands has a layer of Sagittarius energy, which then the horse also brings me to Sagittarius energy, which is this archetype who carries higher wisdom in a bigger context, and truth that connects dots to very isolated details, right? So this feels to me like you are starting to now transmit understanding in a way people don't always realize that it's even affecting them, right? It's like maybe some of you have started to speak light codes, or maybe you've been getting into that, or you've been having a lot of star codes that you've been downloading or something of that sort. And even with this Empress energy tied into this, especially with the Venus symbolism that she's wearing as a necklace, and then obviously in every, well, usually traditional Rider-Waite-Smith decks will have her crown with stars. So that is definitely making me feel like you are bringing through that star level knowledge through a very feminine pathway. And I think for this to happen, you had to go through a lot of purging of your throat chakra and solar plexus chakra, which you probably have been going through for the past however long you've been going through that. But also you're bringing through all of this very higher dimensional knowledge now, and you're accessing this level of wisdom now, and it's in a very feminine principle way, but not feminine in the way like we usually talk about how feminine energy is, but feminine in terms of like tonality, like pacing, and how information is literally carried through the vibration that is coming out of your mouth. Like, I hope that makes sense, right? But there's something about how you speak, how you even phrase things, what words you use, how you can emphasize some things, but how you can also hold silence within that sentence. Like all of that structure and very precise level of how you communicate, it's like hitting exactly the points. And I also see this Ten of Swords as almost like this Eight of Wands coming from this like higher dimensional place, and then it's hitting you right at the point of like activating something within you, where like, you know how our bodies hold trauma, and then once that like they are stored in certain specific parts of our body. So this is a little out there message, but I feel like there has been a guide of you who is helping you with healing certain muscle memory within your body, and they've been targeting that through some kind of light codes or plasmic consciousness, and they've been sending that to you, and in a very targeted way. And there might be a specific consciousness or might be a specific guide that has been helping you, and it's like that has been creating a lot of purges. And maybe you've been, maybe you even have colon cough, or you've been coughing a lot, or you just feel something's off within your body or something of that sort. There's some kind of a hint that there's some kind of purging happening in your body. It could even be that you're getting some kind of rash or something like that in your body. There's some kind of a hint, right? But it's because they're activating a level of a way of being, moving, but especially speaking, that is going to be one of your skill set that will take you to, like, that will really help you play out your purpose here. And communication or speaking, writing, telling something or transmitting, even though you're not speaking out loud, there's something within that, because communication doesn't always have to be like you're speaking it out loud. It can be telepathy, right? So it's like your way of communicating is upgrading, and it's also like maybe spell work and stuff like that is also going to be very helpful for you. Yeah, a lot around that as well is what I'm seeing. I did a reading about shamanism, and I feel like this is very connected to that, which is about like activating your shamanism heritage that is connected to the earthly wisdom and not just like one tradition in a sense. That's also what's coming through. And then with the Ten of Swords, it's for me, it's like ending of forcing your voice to fit like these older structures, right? Like you're not here to repeat ideas the way they've always been repeated. You're here to like translate very complex, very abstract understanding into something that people can actually use. And it feels like there's guidance from Sirius star and your Sirius guides or the Sirius consciousness supporting that right now. And whether you experience that as one guide, one lineage, or presence of what you worked with across time, like this, essentially it's doing the same thing. It's just about communication becoming more cleaner, stronger, and more aligned with who you already are, and not who you were like taught to sound like. Because we can be taught like you have to sound like this to make this kind of impact, or you have to teach like this, you have to say certain things like this, you can't say these words, or you can't say it like that. Like, I don't know, there's just deeper things you're understanding about communication and how impactful it is when you do it in a different way. Like, you're bringing those kind of information or wisdom from a very high dimensional level of understanding of how powerful communication itself is, and you're going to be teaching that in some sense. This collective that's tuning into this reading, you're meant to teach something. It can be so many things, and it doesn't have to be in a traditional sense. Like, you are not connected to anything traditional. Even though you do something traditional, the way you do it is going to be so different, right? Then we have the sacred well, replenishment, self-care, giving from a place of plenty. This kind of ties to Ten of Swords for me, because it makes me think that you've had to just take some time out and nourish yourself, or this is being suggested you do this while you're integrating all of these higher dimensional knowledge and wisdom right now. You're very much being called to do that for yourself, okay? Give that time for yourself. So let's get a couple. Okay, we have sweet relief, the rainbow sweet relief, new beginnings, a new way forward. There's definitely a new beginning coming in for you for sure. And it's a lot to do with your throat chakra. There's just a lot of upgrades happening within your throat chakra. And there's a new beginning that will be formed because you're using your throat, you're using your voice, you're using your communication of higher dimensional ways of communication to create this new beginning, okay? Then we have beneath the surface, what's really driving you, true motives, breaking free. Yeah, I think this is talking about, for me, this is definitely talking about breaking out of that traditional way of doing certain things, especially when it comes to teaching or explaining yourself, or just how you carry yourself, and how you were maybe put in a box, and maybe you were even told teachers don't look like this, people who have wisdom don't look like that, or don't have that kind of tonality, or something of that sort. And all of that, it was driving you to, as in you were being motivated to learn certain things because there were certain opinions or beliefs that you were surrounded by, and you didn't exactly want to learn them, or you didn't really understand it, but you were learning it anyway because, okay, that is credited, so I'm going to go learn and do that. But now you're learning to communicate from a very different place that is not something people can understand easily. Like, even channeling, a lot of people don't think that is a valid thing, right? But you're not going to stop doing that because other people are telling you, oh, that's not actually credible, that science can't prove what you're saying, or stuff like that. I don't know how it's going to be expressing for each and one of you, but that's just an example that's coming through. Like, even channeling every day for yourself and putting it on YouTube, or not putting it on YouTube, just you doing it for yourself, or journaling and drawing light codes. These could be ways that you are practicing communication in a much deeper way. Like, I hope that makes sense. But let's look at this card. We have Earth, learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. Oh, yeah, you are a high multidimensional being that is still, kind of not learning how to be a human, but learning how to integrate those higher dimensional codes that is within you, and then also be grounded at the same time. And then we have Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. Yes, you've been doing that, which is why you are able to teach it in such a way that is going to be relatable for a lot of people. And they're actually going to get a lot of value from you teaching them how to do these things. Okay, so that is the message from today. Also, this Two of Cups in the bottom of the deck, I have to say there's a lot to, when it comes to giving and receiving this knowledge as well. It's like this card that I mentioned, that you have been learning yourself, which is why it's easier for you to now teach that and help the people that are almost like you in that same archetype having these kind of problems, right? So yeah, that is your message for today. It's been an absolute delight channeling this for you. I hope you enjoyed it, and now I'll see you in another reading. Namaste.